Welcome everyone. Today we will start the Python programming lesson. As you can see, we are actually on the Python official website. Yeah, this is the website that you download actually, Python. So maybe how about first we learn why we need Python or why we learn Python. On the Python official website, as you can see, use Python for. As you can see, web development, we can use it for web development. This Django and actually Flask are the two most popular libraries for web development and for graphical user interface development. What does that mean actually? It's for software. For instance, if I run this calculator, well, this calculator is actually a web a desktop application that run on my computer. So it allows us to create a software like this or an application like this using uh, uh, the tkinter or PyGObject, PyQt, Kiwi. These are very popular, and PyQt is also popular, and this is also popular. Graphical user interface libraries for Python. So this allows you to create a desktop application. And the other is actually scientific and numeric. But actually, these are not all the lists. There are more lists than this. For instance, we don't have here NumPy, right? You don't see it. But NumPy is also part of it. NumPy, Pandas, SciPy, and the many more libraries for scientific and numeric purpose. Software development, build bot, trackground app. I think this, I have never used them, but so for software development, it can be used in many different ways. System administration, um, it can be used, as you can see, Ansible, Salt, OpenStack, and Zonish is a different libraries for system administration. So Python is a very versatile programming language that can be used for different purpose. So whenever we want to install actually the Python, we come in here and we click over here. But we should start from a fresh beginning. So I have to open this. As you can see, you come to here, CMD, and then I should open the command prompt here. And then I have to check if Python is installed in my computer by writing Python followed by hyphen version. As you can see, Python 3.1, has been installed on my computer, but maybe I want the latest. This is good enough, by the way, but to show you, I want to uninstall the existing Python, and I want to have fresh Python installation. So I want to remove this one. As you can see, the uninstallation is on progress, and it will be removed very soon. Um, oh, it's taking a long time. Okay, great. Python has been uninstalled, and let's have and the latest version of Python, Python 3.12.2. But if you also want a bit I mean, different releases, if you want all releases, for instance, sometimes some of the program you are working might not be compatible. And if you want to work on a specific Python version, you can come and download and use that one. For instance, if you want 3.6, something like that, yeah, you can come here and you can use a specific version of Python. But in our case, since there is no constraint, we just use the latest version. Oh, did I click on that or not? Maybe I didn't. Yeah. So let's click and wait for some time. What's happening? I thought I clicked on that. Yeah, it seems it's already here. You just click on it. And then when you are about to install, as you can see, you should tick this box. You should mark this, add python.exe to path, and then install. Yeah, then it will be installed very soon. Someone asked me if we should. Yeah, of course you should install it. Yeah, if you don't have. But if you have Python 3.6, 3.7, 3.6 and above, it's okay. But if you want to have the latest version of Python, maybe I think Python 3.10 may have a different feature. But anyway, if you have 3.6 and above, it's okay. Yeah, it's absolutely enough. But if you want to have a fresh, you can install, but 3.9 is really good. Okay, now we have to write again CMD and the Python. We can make this bigger, by the way. Python and yes, 3.12.2. Another way also to know Python, just by writing Python, you can see something. What you see is actually the Python interactive shell. So that means you can write Python over here. Of course, there's also information, Python 3.12 and the release date, February 6th. I think it was yesterday or something. Yeah. So then you can write Python code over here. Then let's start our first Python code. And actually, Python use some built-in function to write code. So just existing code, I mean, function that you can use. You don't have to think about. This print function exists in Python. And now someone asked me, terminal for Mac OS here. Yes, this one for in your Mac or Linux, then the terminal. You should have you should open the terminal. Yes. Then print is actually a built-in function in Python, so it allows us to print something. If I don't put input here inside the parentheses, and if I do, nothing has been printed out. Actually, a space, empty line has been printed out. But instead, inside this print function, if we say hello world, then as you can see, hello world has been printed out. As you can see, I didn't just write text like hello world. Instead, I have actually put the hello world text under a quotation, if you see, yeah? It could be, the quotation could be single or double quotation, for instance, hello world. And then again, yeah, anything we put under a single quote or double quote, we call it string. But if it's a number, print, for instance, 2024, yeah, as you can see, I didn't put it in a string under a quote. By the way, it's not only single or double, even sometimes we can use multiple quote, something like this. I mean triple quote, sorry. Hello world. And still this one is actually. And then as you can see, the triple quote, in this case, double, 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 but three times, even it's also possible like this, and hello world. All those are the same way of writing string. And yeah, good. Python, as you can see, has its own writing syntax, so we call it syntax. If we deviate from the way it's supposed to be written, it doesn't work. It breaks. For instance, if I write print and if I say hello world, and now if I close it, it will break. The reason why, as you can see, I didn't close it. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, unterminated string literal detected at line 1. So this has been opened, so it has to be closed at the end. So that means we had a bug. So because of that bug, the bug was actually, what type of bug was? It's a kind of a syntax error. So the process of removing or finding the error, we call it debugging. So I figured out the problem and then I will fix this and then let's run. Hello world has been printed out. Great. Now let's do some arithmetics, or maybe even I can write some comment on here. In Python, we write comment. Comment is for readability purpose. We leave a remark in our code to make our code readable for others or for ourselves. You know, you write a code and at some point in time, it might be hard to understand what you wrote. So let's see. So comment make our code readable and maintainable, actually, because we are leaving some remark, and this comment will never be executed. It's just an information there. So now let's move on to arithmetic operation. As you can see now, I'm using the arithmetic operation even to write notes. Arithmetic operation. I think everybody know arithmetic operation are addition, subtraction, and maybe multiplication, division, and there's also modulus and exponentiation. And if I make a typo, don't worry about it, okay? What else? We have this floor division in Python, floor division. These are all the arithmetics you may need to know. Okay, let's start from the very basic, yeah? Print 1, maybe 4 plus 3. Everybody knows the result. I think you are expecting 7. Addition operation, right? This addition operation, and you may expect 7. Let's see the result. So by the way, this is actually a comment. I'm just explaining for you. It's possible to add comment like this in your code. Let me, why is not, yeah, 7, as you can see. Or if, I mean, I can just write it like this also, but the reason why I'm writing this part is I'm writing code and explaining what is happening at the same time. Okay, print 4 minus 3, and you may expect 1, right? But as you can see, I am adding extra space in here, right? In between the operator. The reason why it's just for readability purpose. It's not a syntax. For instance, if I just do not have any kind of space, oh no. If I don't have any kind of space, still it works. No, please. As you can see, but for readability, I prefer this one. Yeah. Now let's move on. Print 3 times 4. By now, you may expect already the result, and it's 12, right? Yep. And print 4 divided by 3. I think it's about 1.3 or something. Yeah, as you can see. Now maybe print 3. How about this? Maybe 4 the power of 3. As you can see, this star sign or the asterisk is actually multiplication. Over here, 2 stars are actually exponentiation. What does that mean? This means, because since this allows me to write a comment, that code means 4 times 4 times 4. So this means 4 the power of 3. And then I'm expecting 4 by 4, 16. 16 by 4, 64. Great. Yeah, we are done with exponentiation. Now there is this floor division. What does that mean? I think even before that, the modulus. What is this modulus means? Remainder, getting the remainder. Print 5 divided by 3, what would be the remainder? Everybody should know. I want to know from one of you. Can you say something? What would be the remainder if you divide 5 by 3?
2.
2. That means you divide this one. This operator means modulus. Hey, divide it and just give me the remainder. So this will be 1 times and there will be 2 left over. Yeah, great. Print, let's do more example. Maybe 5 modulus 2. What would be the remainder?
1.
1. That's great. Now maybe the last, maybe just to make this very clear, I can make this 11 divide modulus 4. And then what would be the remainder?
3.
Yes, great. We're done with modulus, and now let's move to floor division. In this case, floor division is a kind of the opposite of modulus. We don't care about the remainder. We just only want to know the quotient, the main value. For instance, as you can see, when we divide this one, we don't worry about this, the decimal value. So we just take 1 times. Okay. Then how do we do that? Print, for instance, 5 modulus. How do we, no, floor division. How do we write floor division symbol? 2 slashes allow us to create floor division. 5 by floor division of 2, for instance. What would be the floor division? At least it's 5 by 2. At least it's 2 times, right? And there would be a leftover 1 or remainder 1. We don't care about that one. So the value is
2.
2. Great. And then again, let's do more example. 9 floor division 3. Tricky. This one is a tricky one, okay?
3.
Yes, because but there's no leftover. But if we just go for modulus, what would be the modulus for this?
0.
0. By the way, if you divide something by a certain number, and if the value is actually 0, that means it is divisible. So 9 is divisible by 3. So divisibility. And maybe, for instance, print 4 modulus 2 should give us 0. So that means if some number is divided by 2, we can say that it's an even number. So we can actually check if a number is even or not using the modulus operator. What is left actually, guys? Is there anything left in here? We have covered how to use the print. and then we wrote different strings, as you can see. And then we make mistake deliberately and we fix it here. It was a syntax error. And then we learn how to write comment, Python comment. It allows us to make our code readable. For instance, as you can see, this one, 7. So someone who is reading my code should expect from this 7. Yeah, I'm leaving a remark for readability purpose to explain my code. And as you can see, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, exponentiation, and for division are actually the arithmetic operation we use in Python. And we call this Python interactive shell. This, the place where we write. This is the Python interactive shell. And we use it once in a while for a testing purpose or maybe to run something on the terminal, but we don't need this one. We write code on Visual Studio Code or a proper code editor, okay? How do we leave this one? Exit, and then we have to invoke, we have to use these two parentheses to leave this. And to leave from this, the command prompt, I can close it from here or just write exit like this without the parentheses. You can do either way, it works. And I think this is good enough for introduction and writing your Hello World Python script. I would say so. And let's